Karen called cops on kids, but she was the one who threatened them. The sun dipped low, casting an orange glow over Willow Creek Park, where laughter once echoed. Now, the air crackled with tension, as if the trees themselves held their breath. Karen, with her pristine yoga outfit and a scowl sharp enough to cut glass, stood at the center of it all, her voice slicing through the evening calm. "You little delinquents think you own this place," she shrieked, jabbing a manicured finger at a group of teenagers huddled near the skate ramp. Her words dripped with venom, each syllable a spark threatening to ignite. The kids, a mix of skateboarders and younger siblings, froze, their eyes wide with disbelief. They'd been here for hours, grinding rails, sharing snacks, bothering no one. But Karen, who'd stormed in like a one-woman hurricane, saw something else entirely a threat to her perfect world. It started innocently enough. The teens, led by Jamal, a lanky 17-year-old with a knack for kickflips, had set up a small picnic to celebrate his little sister Aisha's 12th birthday. They'd brought a Bluetooth speaker, some soda, and a homemade cake Aisha's mom had baked. The park was their usual spot, a haven where they could escape the weight of school and family pressures. But Karen, who lived in the manicured cul-de-sac across the street, had been watching from her porch, her lips pursed tighter with every laugh that reached her ears. She'd marched over, her phone already in hand, her eyes scanning for something, anything to justify her outrage. "This is a family park," she'd declared, though the families nearby seemed unbothered, their kids playing tag in the grass. Jamal tried to reason with her. "Ma'am, we're just hanging out. It's my sister's birthday." His voice was calm, respectful, but Karen wasn't here for dialogue. She saw their skateboards, their hoodies, their brown and black skin, and her mind spun a story of chaos and crime. "You're loitering. You're vandalizing," she snapped, gesturing wildly at the ramp, which bore no new damage. Aisha, clutching her paper party hat, stepped forward. "We didn't do anything wrong," she said, her voice trembling but firm. Karen's eyes narrowed. "Don't you dare talk back to me, little girl." The words landed like a slap, and Jamal instinctively stepped in front of his sister, his jaw tight. The situation escalated faster than anyone expected. Karen's accusations grew wilder. She claimed the kids were intimidating families, that their music was disturbing the peace, that they'd threatened her safety. The other park-goers, now forming a loose circle, exchanged skeptical glances. Aisha's best friend, Mia, a fiery 13-year-old with braids, couldn't hold back. "You're the one yelling at us. We didn't even talk to you." Karen spun on her, her face reddening. "I'll have you all arrested," she spat, dialing 911 with a flourish. The teen's heart sank. Jamal knew what this could mean. Cops, questions, assumptions. He'd seen it before his cousin, pulled over for looking suspicious while walking home. But he kept his cool, urging the others to stay calm. "Let's just wait," he whispered. "We haven't done anything." Isha clung to his arm, her birthday joy replaced by fear. Then came the twist no one saw coming. An older man, Mr. Thompson, emerged from the crowd. He was a quiet regular at the park, always walking his ancient beagle, Rusty. Usually, he kept to himself, but today, his eyes burned with something fierce. "I saw everything," he said, his voice gravelly but steady. He held up his phone, its screen glowing with a video. "You, lady," he pointed at Karen, "were the one threatening these kids. I recorded it all." The crowd murmured, leaning in. Karen's face froze, her phone still pressed to her ear. "Mr. Thompson continued, undeterred, you told them you'd make sure they never come back here. You kicked over their picnic table. You called them names I won't repeat." He turned to the teens, his expression softening. "These kids were just celebrating. You're the one causing trouble." Karen's confidence cracked. "That's not true," she stammered, but her voice wavered. The crowd wasn't buying it. A mother with a stroller stepped forward. "I saw it too. You were screaming at them for no reason. Another voice chimed in, a jogger who'd paused his run. Yeah, they were just eating cake. You flipped out. The police arrived. Two officers stepping out of a cruiser with measured calm. Karen, seizing her moment, launched into a tearful performance. Officer, these kids were harassing me. They threatened me, vandalized the park. She gestured at the overturned table, conveniently ignoring her role in its fall. The officers listened, their faces neutral, then turned to Jamal. What's your side? Jamal took a deep breath, his voice steady despite the knot in his chest. We were having a birthday party for my sister. She, he nodded at Karen, came over, started yelling, and knocked over our stuff. We didn't threaten anyone. Aisha, tears in her eyes, held up the crumpled remains of her cake. It was my birthday, she whispered. Mr. Thompson stepped forward, offering his phone. Watch this, he said simply. The officers huddled around the screen, their expressions shifting as the video played. It showed Karen storming into the park, berating the kids, kicking over their table, and most damningly hissing, "You don't belong here." The crowd's murmurs grew louder, a wave of disapproval washing over Karen. The lead officer, a woman with a no-nonsense demeanor, handed the phone back. Ma'am, she said to Karen, this doesn't look good for you. You're accusing these kids of threats, but the evidence shows you were the aggressor. Karen's mouth opened, then closed, her face a mask of shock. But I was just protecting the park. She sputtered, protecting it from what the officer asked, her tone sharp. A birthday party. The crowd chuckled, a low ripple of satisfaction. Karen's eyes darted around, searching for allies but found none. The families she'd claimed to protect were now glaring at her, their patience worn thin. The officers took statements, their notepads filling with accounts from Mr. Thompson, the mother, the jogger, and even a shy teenager who'd been too scared to speak earlier. The evidence piled up, each witness painting a clearer picture of Karen's unprovoked rage. The overturned table, the ruined cake, the frightened kids, it all pointed to one truth: Karen had crossed a line. As the officers deliberated, Jamal knelt beside Aisha, wiping her tears. It's gonna be okay, he said, though his own heart was racing. Mia, still fuming, muttered, she's the one who should be arrested. The crowd nodded, their voices rising in agreement. Karen, sensing the tide turning, tried to slip away, but the second officer called her back. Ma'am, you're not going anywhere. The confrontation reached its peak when the lead officer turned to Karen. Based on what we've seen, you're the one who caused a disturbance. You made false accusations and damaged property. She gestured at the table, its legs bent from Karen's kick. You're lucky these kids aren't pressing charges. Karen's face drained of color. Charges, she squeaked. I'm the victim, no freneur, ma'am, the officer said firmly. You're not. She explained that Karen could face a fine for public disturbance and property damage. Worse, her call to the police, knowingly false, could lead to further consequences. The crowd erupted in whispers, some openly cheering. Mr. Thompson gave Jamal a nod, his beagle wagging its tail as if in approval. Karen's world crumbled. Her neighbors, once indifferent, now saw her for what she was: a bully who'd targeted kids for no reason but her own prejudice. The officers issued her a citation, a humiliating mark on her pristine record. As they escorted her to her car, she avoided eye contact, her earlier bravado gone. The crowd dispersed, some offering the teens sympathetic smiles. Aisha, still clutching her party hat, managed a small grin when Mia handed her a salvaged cupcake. Jamal gathered the group, salvaging what they could of the party. Mr. Thompson stayed, helping them clean up. You kids didn't deserve this, he said, his voice thick with emotion. But you handled it with class. He handed Aisha a small gift card from his pocket. For your birthday, get yourself a new cake. Aisha's eyes lit up, and for the first time that evening, she laughed. The park slowly returned to its usual rhythm. But the story didn't end there. Word spread first through the neighborhood, then online. Mr. Thompson's video, shared by the jogger, went viral on X, tagged with "One sure you was justice for Aisha." People posted their own stories of Karens gone wild, each tale a reminder of the harm caused by unchecked entitlement. The backlash hit Karen hard. Her cul-de-sac neighbors stopped inviting her to book club. Her yoga studio, where she'd once held court, grew cold. Even her own daughter, a quiet college student, called her out, refusing to visit until she apologized. Karen's life became a cautionary tale. The kids, meanwhile, reclaimed their park. Aisha's next birthday was a community event, with families bringing food and music to celebrate. Jamal, now a local hero, organized a skate clinic for younger kids, turning the ramp into a symbol of resilience. The wooden sign, once defaced by Karen's tantrum, now bore a new message. This park belongs to everyone. What do you think? Did Karen get what she deserved? Or was there another way to handle this? Share your thoughts below.